Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our vlog here in beautiful Mexico. So we actually have a really busy morning and I want to take you guys along with me. But before my kids get up, because it's pretty early, I wanted to talk about a couple of things. First, I wanted to tell everybody thank you who comments, who likes, who shares, who is supporting and loving on our family. That means so much to me. I read through every single comment. If you get a heart and like from me, you know I read through it, and I just love hearing from all you guys. And some of you had questions, and it's like fresh in my mind right now, so I wanted to answer them because you guys always have really good questions, and then I get so busy in my day, I forget to answer them. One of the questions was, and nobody has asked this in a mean way, they were just curious. They said, can you pack your kids' lunch for school in the morning? Because here in our town in Mexico, it is a very small ranch town. You bring your children lunch every single day, and I have one child in kindergarten, one in elementary, and one in middle school, and the schools are spread out within our ranch, and I bring all of them a fresh lunch every day at lunchtime with all the other moms in the ranch. And yes, we could pack them lunches in the morning, but this is a cultural thing that, number one, they want to make sure their kids have fresh, warm meals. That's very important to them. They also want to make sure their children eat their food. That's important to them as well. They don't want them, they don't know if they pack them the cold lunch, if they're eating or if they're throwing it away and then just running off to play. And it's so funny because all of us moms sit there with our kids, and some of the moms are like, you're eating until it's gone. They're so funny because they just want to make sure they're getting healthy, good meals. None of these meals, we have no fast food around us. We have taco stands. Even the taco stands are fresh meat coming from our butchers daily. Nothing is packaged. It's just everything's so good here. I don't know how to explain it, you guys. Mexico is such a beautiful place. The second question I wanted to answer, somebody said, why doesn't your suegra teach you how to cook, which would be my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law does not cook very much. The food she does cook is so delicious and wonderful, but my father-in-law was the one who cooked, and he has passed away, and he taught me a couple dishes, but he was the main cook in the house. So now here in Mexico, I've had to learn from other families how to cook traditional dishes here. The other question somebody asked was, well, this one wasn't very nice, but I did want to answer it anyways. Somebody said flautas have chicken in them. And flautas are the corn tortilla shells, and I roll mine in cheese and then you deep fry them. And what I need to say about that is what you put in your flauta really depends on how your family likes to make them. It also depends on the area you're from. For example, when I lived in the United States, if I went to a Mexican restaurant, yes, the flautas always had chicken in them, but I never knew how to make them. And then I came here and there was a mom from the kindergarten, because we have mom groups, and once every 2 weeks my group has to make lunch, and the mom said we're making flautas, and I had no idea how to make them, and she used cheese. And one of the other moms here had explained to me that they don't buy meat every single day. Meat is something they get 3 times a week, or for a special occasion. So here in our ranch in Mexico, most families make them with cheese. Anywhere I've had them here in our ranch, they've been made with cheese. And the enchiladas have always been made with cheese. So I think it really depends on what part of Mexico you're from. Are you from a bigger city? Are you from a really small ranch? It just depends on those types of things. Personally, my family loves them with cheese. And then also somebody commented on, why does your salsa look more watery? So I wanted to answer that question too, because there are so many different ways to make salsa, and we are a big salsa family. If you've been watching my vlogs, you know that everybody in my family loves salsa. My younger girl, Annabelle, can like drink it out of a bag. And again, depending on where you are from in Mexico, people prefer to make them different ways. Here on our ranch, at the taco stands, the salsa is very thin, and my kids love it like that. You can make thicker salsas, especially in the molcajete, where you kind of like grind it down. I love a thicker salsa. My kids love a thinner salsa. So when I made the salsa verde the other day, it did look thin, but my kids ate every last drop of it, and that's the way they like it. My kids don't want chunks in it, and that's also how a lot of people make it here. They make it very, very thin. And I remember my father-in-law making it thinner too, unless of course they use the molcajete and they were making a thicker salsa. So hopefully that answers some questions. If you're watching it and you're like, oh, well, my family doesn't make it that way, you just have to remember that each family in Mexico, sometimes they come from different regions, different little towns, different little ranchos, and everybody just makes things a little bit differently. Also, one more thing. My mother-in-law has lived in the United States, has to be over 40 years at least, and she does speak English, but she is not fluent, and she has a very strong accent. But I just want to let you guys know, there is nothing in my mind that thinks, why does she have an accent? Why doesn't she say that the way I say it? Well, there's like, why would I even think that? There's a great explanation for that. She did not learn English as a child. My suegra could go to school and learn every single English word. She'd still always have an accent. And that's okay. Like, to me, I think accents are so beautiful. So when I say something differently or not my best in Spanish, just know that I'm trying my very best. I'm an adult, and I just started the last couple years learning Spanish, and I'm not going to learn it the same as a child. Also, I didn't grow up with Hispanic family at all. I had never been around it until I met my husband, and then I'd never been tossed into it until I moved to the ranch. So I do try. I don't speak it as much on here, but when I'm out and about, that's all I speak is Spanish. I can understand it way better than I can speak it. So when you guys hear me and you're like, oh, you're saying that wrong, or you're saying this wrong, just remember to have a little bit of grace, just like I have grace with my mother-in-law, just like people here in the ranch have so much grace with me. Like, when I go up there, if I say something wrong, they still know what I'm saying, and they don't correct me. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine how hard it would be for me if everywhere I went, they're like, no, you're saying it wrong, no, you're saying it, because I'll never say it perfectly. I'll always have a very thick, strong accent. But they know what I'm saying. Just like my mother-in-law, I know what she's saying. Is she saying it like me? Absolutely not. Does it sound different? Absolutely. But I know what she's saying, so I just say, okay, well, let's go. You know what I mean? So just have a little grace, not just with me, but with anybody else you meet. And before you say something, really think about it. Think about, like, maybe you know Spanish and English because you learned both of them as a child, but imagine if you had to go to China as an adult and learn that language. You are not going to sound like them. You might learn some words, but you always have a really thick accent. And you just have to remember to have grace for people. But it's a very few who say anything to me. So I don't want to go any more into it than that. Because I have so much love and support here on our ranch and just everybody watching and loving on our family. It's not even something that bothers me. It's just something I wanted to say so people could kind of think about it, because for the people that do say it, I don't want you going around saying it to other people and not thinking first, thinking about their situation and thinking about things that might be different for them. Oh my gosh, the kids are up now. They're going to be so loud. But the kids decided on tacos de cazuela to eat today. So before I go to Ocotlan, I have to run and grab tortillas, and I have to go get some carne. Alright, you guys, I just got tortillas, and I also got what we are gonna need for the tacos de cazuela. So green out right now. I swear, you just get a little bit of rain here, and everything is just green and beautiful. The last place we have to stop is the butcher's right up the road for some meat. You guys, that horse down there, right there, that's the one that comes to my house. He could just, when he gets loose, he could come right up here. He could go to that grass over there on the other side of campo, and he comes to our house. And you can smell all the herbs outside of this little tienda. Buenos días. Buenos días. So you can see that they put the meat into this bag, but the meat was not pre-packaged. The cow was butchered, I think about 2 days ago. And then you just walk up here, and I told her I need 100 pesos, carne por tacos de cazuela. She cuts it for me, weighs it, and then puts it in a bag. And this is what we will use today. And I like it to cook on low for a while so it comes apart easily. So we'll get it cooking, we'll go out to Ocotlan, and we'll come home and eat. Alright guys, this is what we're going to need for tacos de cazuela. The cilantro is so fresh. Still has the dirt and the root on it. We'll wash that off though. Dos cajas de nuestra cebolla. I have my meat right here. And we have our fresh tortillas. I still need to go get a roll of queso. They call it Oaxaca. And that is gonna be how we make our tacos de cazuela. They are so, so good. They do get a little bit messy in the kitchen, but they're one of our favorite meals. So before I head out, I'm gonna prepare a couple things. I'm gonna boil these. I'm gonna take this chili oil, and I'm gonna sear the meat on all the sides, and then I'm gonna cook it on low. Once this is ready right here, I'm gonna blend all the vegetables and the chiles together. It's gonna turn into a juice, and then I'm gonna slow cook the meat in that. I'm also gonna drop some garlic and some onion in there. Just gives it a better flavor. Tacos de cazuela. Alright you guys, I have the chile oil, I have cebolla and a couple pieces of garlic. And I'm gonna brown all the sides before I slow cook it. Alright you guys, it is time to blend all this together. I'm gonna put in a cube of norsuiza. I'm also gonna put in a fresh cebolla and a fresh garlic. Alright you guys, I moved the meat, the oil, all the good stuff into our clay pot. And I am just going to strain this in. Alright you guys, all of that was drained. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. This is gonna go on the smallest burner on the lowest setting. I want it to cook nice and slow. Guys, I had to put my sweater back on because I swear it's like going hot and cold. I do not know what is going on. But we are gonna get going right now. Hey guys, we are taking the trusty S10. This car is so old, but it's like our most reliable car. This car is old and has lots of miles on it, but you know what? It has been one of our most reliable cars. And if you know, you know. These are the little seats in the back of the S10. You guys don't know how many times I've had to drive back there or sit back there. Okay, Abby's trying to figure out the stereo. What music are you gonna play? I know, but who are you gonna play? Not Bad Bunny. No.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good.
Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful out today, you guys. So beautiful. It'll be a beautiful day to take photos. Alright, you guys, we already got the cheese. Now we just need to stop here to get feed real quick. Alright, you guys, we are heading back home. We just had a couple things to do out here. And I bet that meat for the tacos de cazuela is just nice and tender and perfect right now. And we're all so hungry, we can't wait to get back home and eat. We are back home and I'm going to show you what the meat looks like. I already pulled it apart. Super soft, came apart really easy, and the sauce has thickened up a bit. You guys, I also stopped for the roll of cheese and we are going to peel this apart just like string cheese. Alright guys, let me show you what this looks like. I got this from the Paloma in Ocotlan. Kind of moist, not dry at all. And then you find a piece like this and you unroll it. So I'll use about that much. And then you're just gonna pull it apart because this is gonna go in your tacos de cazuela. It is so delicious, you guys. My favorite cheese. No preservatives, fresh, delicious. Cows from Mexico eat in the grass. Cheese. Okay, and if you want it to melt faster, you do it thinner. There we go. Alright guys, now this part's important. So you remember I got my fresh tortillas this morning. Look at how beautiful those are. Okay, I'm gonna take 2 of them, just like this. I fold it and I'm gonna dip it in the juice. So I dip it just like this so it goes on the inside, the outside. This is how the lady up the road who sells tacos de cazuela, this is how I watch her make it. And I'll show you, she has little gummy bear earrings. Alright you guys, so I put it down. I'm going to flip it because now it's hot. It's almost like enchiladas. I'm going to put the cheese on and then I'm going to put some of the meat. You can see the meat. The cheese is starting to melt. This right here is okay. You want it to get nice and crispy on the outside. I even sometimes throw more juice over it before I flip it. I'm waiting for those to cook a little bit. I have some onions with chile oil, cilantro, and limon, and my kids love to put this on there. So I made a couple more, but you can see it's kind of crispy. That is so good. It's juicy on the inside, crispy on the outside. Yeah. That you're the best baby ever. Yeah. So you're the best one ever. I made some onions with limon over there. Yeah. Can't have them till your cazuelas are done though.
Oh, that's supposed to be. Can I just a double digit juice?
Yes. And then I'm gonna take my spoon and I'm gonna put juice on top. And if you guys have never had tacos de cazuela, oh, they are so, so good. And I have not made them in a while. Go tell Abby and Cristiano food is ready. Abby gets the first plate and she loaded it up with this and some salsa. Abby will be honest whether it's good or not. So we had some really cold, oh my gosh, my fingers, fresh Coca-Cola with it.
It's ready.
Oh, it's so good.
Is this fine?
Well, it must have been good. Abby completely finished her plate, little girls, and now mommy's gonna make some.
Okay.
Oh, good. All right, you guys, all the kids have ate. So I'm gonna have mine right now, and I'm gonna put the onions and everything on top. Right here, come in. And I'm gonna put more of this chile. All right, you guys, first bite. Oh my gosh, so melty cheese. So good. So my kids ate Abby ate 3 of these, Cristiano ate 4, Annabelle and Pee-Pee had 2 each. I will probably just have 1 for right now.
That's so cool.
This is so good, you guys. You have to try and make these. How good is it, Bethlyn? So good. All right, we don't have Coca-Cola every single day, but sometimes when I make something special, I always get a nice Mexican Coke. It is so good. And I don't know what it is, you guys, but when you make these onions with the limon, cilantro, it tastes so good on top of these tacos de cazuela. And the lady in the ranch who sells these, she sells them right from her home. She would always give us a bag of pickled onions, and so we always put it on them now. So we just absolutely love it. Good, you guys, and with the salsa on top. Because I have animal feed in the back of the car, and Cristiano actually has an ear infection right now. So normally he helps me, but it's just me and Abby today. And I'm gonna tell you, I really like to do natural things with my kids to help with the pain and help the healing process a little faster. So he is on antibiotics, but also when it starts to get too painful, I take a raw onion and I put a cloth over it and I put it right here on his ear. And then underneath that raw onion, I put, it's a sock filled with rice, and I warm it up in the microwave and I put it underneath the onion, and it just pulls out. You wouldn't believe all the wax and stuff it pulls out. But that's something I just like to do with my kids, and I did it last time with Penelope and it worked so well. I could not believe like all the drainage coming out. All right, you guys, so since lunch is done, we have a lot left over, especially tortillas. So you're not always making a bunch of different meals. You normally have something for breakfast like huevos de chorizo or frijoles, something like that. And then you make something for lunch. And then if it's left over, you eat the same thing for dinner. So let's get outside and get the feed in. All right, made it to the back. But we need to go say hi to the baby ducks before we get started. They're so cute. I know. She wants me to feed her and turn on the hose for the pond, so I'm going to do that first real quick. Okay, they're going to jump. They love to jump. Oh, babies! Good job! This one loves playing, the yellow one. The yellow one likes to play next to the hose. And then Mommy Duck keeps all the chickens away. Oh, she can't get out. You got it. Good job. Good job. All right, you guys, we are all done. We undid the food, we put it into the barrels. Abby is now just taking pictures of the baby ducklings. They're so cute. They're so funny. She's so chubby now. All right, guys, and the dogs are barking in the background because we have to put them away when baby goat comes out. The dogs are nice to all the animals except baby goat. And baby goat loves the grass. So she's just gonna eat the grass, and oh, she's getting so chubby now. The goat just ran up to me, but she's licking for Abby. Abby is her absolute favorite. But the goat is doing so healthy and good. She's probably close to 6 months right now. So she'll have another 6 months before we can breed her. And I can even think about making goat cheese. I cannot wait to do that. Abby grabbed a fig from our fig tree. Alright, guys, I'm going to finish up chores with Abby, but they did come and till the ground, and probably tonight we're going to come out here before our walk and look for some glass. So this is our back, and whenever they come to till up the ground, which they only do it, I believe, twice a year, there's so much old glass and clay that comes to the surface, and it feels like sea glass. It's really soft. There's a piece right here. And it is not... It's not sharp at all. It's just been sitting in the ground. Sometimes, like, I don't know where this came from. You can see the edges. If I can get my camera to focus. The edges are really, really soft. Oh, look at this one, you guys. This one's really pretty. And this back property has been farmed through tons and tons of my husband's generation, so it'd be his, I think it would be his great grandfather who founded this rancho with a couple other people, and then this was their property. So I don't know how old some of this glass is, you guys. I do know that it's soft. I don't know how so much glass and clay and stuff could have got back here, because they've always just used it for farming. Like I said, sometimes we'll find really old, very, very old Sprite bottles, glass Coca-Cola bottles. Sometimes we'll find really old marbles. It's just so cool stuff we find back here. If when my husband comes back, if we move the duck pond, I want to find as much of these pieces of glass, because like I said, they're really soft. They're not sharp on the edges. I want to find as much as I can so I can do like a mosaic type of pond. It'd be so beautiful. Okay guys, so it's 1:57. It's almost 2 o'clock. We are done with chores. That means we're gonna go rest from 2 to 4. Everything in our ranch and in Ocotlan and in the surrounding areas are closed from 2 to 4. It is also one of my favorite things about Mexico is siesta time. So we're gonna go do that. When I get back up, we're gonna go look for glass in the backyard, and then we're gonna go for a beautiful walk. Hopefully it's not raining. Okay. After Abby's done just being best friends with her goat. Alright, you guys, it is so windy out. We got done from our siesta and we want to go for a nice walk. Look at those clouds back there. It's just windy though, and it feels so refreshing.
So cold.
So cold, but refreshing. It's just Annabelle and Abby with me right now. Cristiano and Penelope wanted to lay down, so we're just going to go for a quick, nice walk. Oh, do you still got your gummy bearings? Oh, you switched on. Look how beautiful. I'd love to do photos right now with the sky looking like that. So pretty. It's so windy out. Alright, you guys, we are finally back home and I'm so tired. We actually stopped to get papas and I don't know if you've seen in my other videos, but they have papas and they just put so much good stuff on them. I couldn't film the papas though because my phone was about to run out of battery, so next time they make them, I'm going to. But I'm already in my pajamas, the kids are getting settled, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's vlog. If you have not already, please like and subscribe. And I love hearing from you guys, so let me know where you're watching from. And if you have any questions you want me to answer, let me know. But everybody have a really good night. Buenas noches.